Welcome to day 3 of Teresa's Christmas look of card making and scrapbooking, and a little bit of Halloween, just a little bit, yes. We have a dazzling day ready for you.
Great, a dazzling display of Dazzles, plus we have small stamps and 2 tempting templates.
Yes, we're going to explore all the techniques that Teresa has done. Come play with us. Well, here are the Dazzles and some of these stamps, but we'll talk about the Dazzles first, okay?
Let's do that one at a time.
Yeah, so we're going to start with this. This is a 3-pack and Christmas greetings.
Right, and this is great because it's got 3 different finishes, so lots of options for your Christmas cards.
And you can see them on the back. There are a total of 78 pieces in this 3-pack. And I am just really surprised we haven't had this before.
I'm glad that we have them now. They're so useful to have all of the different surfaces in one package. Yeah. And also they have tiny little things like stars and holly and lots of little extra things you can add.
You'll find room for those.
These are fun.
Now we also have ice skates, and you can see that silver foiling.
It's just beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
And Teresa actually confided that when she first saw these, she was a little bit thinking, what in the world am I going to do with these?
You know, the woman lives in Arizona. What does she know about
But
this?
wait till you see what she came up with. So
Okay.
why she ever questioned, I don't know.
I don't know either. Poinsettias is another perfect. Now these are larger. You can see on the back.
And they're very artistic. Yeah, how
kind
large
of
they are.
Perfect for coloring
They're
in, don't you think?
So it reminds me of our colorist paper. So.
Very pretty.
So great.
We also have some new double stick Dazzles.
Yay.
These are ornaments, and we'll see some beautiful things.
We just had a webisode that showed all the different ways that you can use double stick Dazzles.
So be sure to watch that if you haven't. But there are the ornaments, 36 pieces.
On the right.
Right. Now, not Christmas, but you'll see a Christmas version of our new Dazzle doll stickers.
These are great. Big, beautiful dolls.
Yes.
Large dolls with dresses, a cameo. We've got some great sentiments on there, borders.
And speaking of trepidation, when our graphic designers, we were talking about this, they were a little worried that this would work because all the lines have to be connected to be a Dazzle. So, but they did a gorgeous job, absolutely gorgeous.
Fantastic job.
And we said Halloween, little Halloween, too cute to spook.
So some Halloween pumpkins on there with a cute little kitty.
And one of the members of the Premier Dazzle Personal Shopper commented that she was so happy they weren't scary because she has a preschooler and just wasn't ready for that.
So just perfect.
Yes, and there's also a sneak peek of the Serenity
sticker Dazzles. Excuse me.
These are the scrapbooking Dazzles. Now they're called that just because they're larger elements, and there are 2 different sheets in gold, also the jewel Dazzles in copper, and then there's another look at them.
So they're like 540 copper jewel Dazzles alone, plus you get 82 of those gold Dazzles. Lots of beautiful motifs in here.
Yeah.
Not exactly Christmas, but they're just so beautiful we had to show them to you.
And we have 3 of the silicone stamps. These are the little guys. So we've got a little dog with the antlers, poinsettias, and then a boo to you, flying bats.
Merry Woofmas.
Very okie doke. And the templates.
And the templates, 2 tempting templates. One is a large template. It's the bendy card template.
Glad to see that.
So we sell the bendy card, the die cut cards, or you can use the template, and you can cut them out of any color cardstock that you want. All the instructions are on there. I'll show you a little bit about that.
And you can't make a bad bendy card. I'm telling you right now.
I don't think it's possible. And then also we have the Christmas Design Toolkit number 9. This is just loaded with lots of little Christmas motifs. I think you're going to show us a little bit.
Let me show it to you so you can see the flower there. You can see the shapes. We've got ornaments in multiple sizes.
We've got 14 shapes in this toolkit alone. So 14
holly leaves, holly berries,
lots of labels, lots of
giant
ideas.
snowflake.
There are little pictures of ideas on there. So
it's
lots
a
great
stuff.
Design toolkit.
Okay, so there we go. Let's get into projects.
Let's do that.
Now, Teresa, who wasn't sure what to do with ice skates, has once again done a fabulous job.
Comes up with a winner.
Now she's used some new things, which are the Dazzles, but she's used some things that we've had previously.
Right.
And one of them, you can see the the snowflakes
embossing folder
that we used yesterday.
In the back. Right.
Yeah.
So that's the treatment you're seeing in the back. You're also seeing that 3-pack of greetings, Christmas greetings Dazzles up here at the top.
Now, the ice skate, she has backed that onto the pearl sheets. Now, the pearl sheets in silver, it also comes in gold in the same pack.
Right.
And you can tell that, now this is an 8x9 sheet. You're just using a little tiny bit of that.
It goes a long way. The same with that snowflake holographic paper. You only need a little bit of it.
And it's an 8.5x11. Look at the colors that the lights are doing.
It's just gorgeous.
Very fun.
That is really an essential for your Christmas card making. And all you need are little tiny pieces to
just
make
like
it
that.
really pop.
Also comes in blue.
Right.
And then Teresa wanted to keep the silver, but she had, things going on with the pearl, with the holographic. So her selection was to use the metallic silver paper for her backing.
It has kind of a sheen to it, so you can see that, but it's muted, so it tones down the rest of what's going on here.
So you can see what's going on, just a beautiful look.
Let's see what's
and
on
the inside, she's used the embossing folder again, slightly different technique.
Instead of a reverse process. And there backed them with that silver pearl and more of the Christmas greetings. Okay, I want to show you the background for the front of that card, which is, it's a really fun technique. And it gets you a great look. So we've got the embossing folder. I've got a brayer here. I've got a paper towel for cleaning the brayer off when I need to, piece of cardstock, and I've got 2 fluid chalk inks. They have kind of different packaging, same fluid chalk ink. We've got Fawn and Splash. Now, Teresa said the reason she used both of these is because she liked that the Fawn actually combines with the Splash ink and tones it down a bit.
Now, I have to inject something here.
Okay.
Teresa, I trust you, dear. We've been together a long time, but what are you thinking? I have no idea how this brown is going to work to make blue.
So you're just not recognizing her genius right off the bat.
I am not, but I am trusting. I am trusting. I'm sitting here trusting.
The thing that I've noticed about Fawn ink is that it is really a pale ink, and it's almost kind of translucent. And when you look at that, it doesn't look that way.
Yeah, it looks brown.
But it is a very pale ink, and I think that was kind of a genius idea to use it to really tone down the Splash ink.
Okay.
What made her think of toning it down is another thing altogether. I don't know how that, she's just smart. Anyway,
you go.
She's craft smart. So now I'm going to
clean that off
a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know if I mentioned, but I am actually inking the silk screen side of the inside of that embossing folder. That is the raised background side. The raised snowflakes are on the other side.
And you're using the brayer, why?
Because it gives a really even coverage. You don't get, if you were to go directly on there with the ink pads, you would get a heavier ink coverage, and you would get like little droplets of ink. You can sort of see it. It's a little more textured. Well, and it might be just a different look, but the brayer does a nice job of distributing it evenly. You place your paper in there, and then you close it up. You put this through your embossing machine, your die cutting machine, and what you get out is this. It's embossed, and the ink has embossed the background of the piece. Now, if you were to use the other side of the embossing folder and ink, then you'll get more of what you see on the inside.
Which is exactly that. So she just used it on the opposite side. So 2 looks. Now, in Stamp Camp 4, Teresa really showcases this technique, and I demonstrate it. And it's called, she uses it as a bisque technique. It looks to her like that kind of
pottery, which I agree.
Or Dresden pottery, one or the other.
Okay.
There you go. So you can see it on the front, very crisp with the snowflakes, and then the snowflakes highlighted on the inside. She added some pearls along with that. Now here is the same Dazzle with a still shimmery look, but done in a different manner.
So in this case, I put the Dazzle directly onto the cardstock, and I inked the edges with a fluid chalk ink and a sponge, but that Dazzle is just sitting right on there, and then I filled it in with diamond ice stickles.
This is really the season for diamond ice,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, you can use it for snow and icicles and all sorts of things. So that's how it was filled in.
Now, just like Teresa's card, to come in with the black and the silver, in this case, in fact, you did this one, didn't you?
I did, and it just matted it on there, and it just really helps it to pop.
On the black suede and then on the silver ripple.
And you see, it matches the Dazzles perfectly. It's got that silver lining on it. I love the little individual skates, and I hung them with black twine, black jute twine.
There you go.
It's just so cute.
Very nice. Now this is the one that's on the package. So just to show you, just backing them simply on pattern paper.
So lots of different ways to use those
Think
skates.
Snow and all those little extra elements that you were talking about.
I believe this is from an Artful Card Kit.
I think it is.
Papers.
Okay, now we're going to go into the greetings.
So that 3-pack greetings, and we're using all 3 of them on here, all 3 colors of them, which I think is just a really fun look.
And then you can, of course, separate them, but it gives you an idea.
But that's great. I love that great big bow. And this is done on the Christmas chalkboard paper pack. It's another great Christmas paper pack.
Now we're going to go into our double stick Dazzles. And we did a webisode not very long ago on the double stick and all the 500 things that you can use on them.
Right. So be sure and check that one out, because really that's very useful for these.
Don't do that corner over there. Do it over here.
Oh, I'm going to do it again in a second. Okay, so the double stick Dazzles, they look like this. They have the ornaments, and they have these have been placed on like color coordinated cardstock, and then the silk microfine glitter was placed on top.
Were you waiting for me to talk about the embossing folder?
Well, I just figured you were going to talk more.
Well,
when you are.
This is Christmas words, and you can see this is one that you may have in your stash. And what Teresa wanted to do was to have something that was Christmassy there, but she didn't want to have it detract from the glitter that's going on over here.
Well, it helps to tone it down. You've got your focal, that nice bright splash, and then you've got this tone down. Plus, there's your message right there.
Right.
And I see the little tiny stars. Those actually come from the 3-pack Christmas greetings Dazzles.
Oh, the greetings. Okay.
So when you open this up, you still have a greeting on the inside as well.
And she did there on the green cardstock, more with the big greetings, and another big ornament.
Okay,
so now
so let's look at these double stick Dazzles. They come on a sheet like this, hard to see, but they also are covered with this plastic covering that you want to remove before you use it.
But not all the way.
And Paulette tells me just to go wiggle the corner,
just wiggle
like
the
that,
corner,
and then it comes right off like that. Do not remove this all the way. You only want to peel back until you get to the Dazzle that you want, because you want to keep it covered and keep it clean.
Otherwise it will pick up anything that's flying around.
Right. So I've got cardstock here to place my Dazzle on. I'm going to do that tone-on-tone red ornament, and I'm just going to use my fingernail to pick it up. There we go. So it is adhesive on both sides.
But it's transparent.
But it's transparent. So it's like a plastic, and you place it on the cardstock. And afterwards, you're going to be cutting it out, so it doesn't really matter where you put it on that
One thing you do want to do is make sure that it is down so that any whatever coloring agent you're going to use doesn't get underneath it.
Right, exactly. So I've got a little sheet of paper here. I'm going to put that on. Here's that silk microfine glitter.
Which we're loving.
And now Teresa is too.
Yes, she has not been a glitter fan prior to this, but the woman has found her love.
What she said that she likes about it is that you put it on, and we're going to burnish it. She says after she has burnished it a few times, you shake off the excess, then the glitter doesn't come off. And that was, I think maybe that was her main beef with using glitter, is
that's
that it
what
comes
she loves.
off. So I'm tapping it off. And then really I'll burnish it 3 times total. So that was 1.
But don't add more.
Do
just
not
notice.
add more.
Yeah.
And every time you burnish it, a little more of that glitter comes off.
So you can see the difference between the first one and the second. Okay, now the third.
Now we'll do it one more time. And it it's on there well. You can really see it, and it gives sort of a silk appearance once it's burnished on there.
Must be why it's called silk
micro
glitter.
One more tap,
hardly
anything
any
comes off.
But you need to do that third one just to get it on.
And there it is. So
and
there's that nice shimmery,
trim
and
it
it
off.
does have sort of a silky appearance there. It's pretty flat
just
looking.
Gorgeous.
And then you just cut around it, and you have your ornaments.
And you have this. And obviously this was done in red and in green and in white. And the rhinestones that were added are from Want to Scrap, Say It With Bling, and all different sizes come in this pack. So that just makes it easy to do.
Right.
And there is the inside, which would also be a perfect front of a card, by the way.
Absolutely. Now that's on the Christmas Sweets paper pack, which is another great Christmas paper pack to use.
Now, something else you can do is this. And this is quite gorgeous. This is using the silver metal leaf. Now these come in sheets, and you're going to be showing us that.
Right, so we've got our double stick dazzles. I'm actually going to place this one directly on cardstock, and I'm going to put it on black so that you can see it well. Where's my big, I want my big, beautiful, long, I'm going to use that one.
Okay.
The big long one. And so I peeled it back, but remember I don't peel it all the way off. I lift up the dazzle. Well, I'm going to make sure that I get it all the way. This one has a little top area that I want to get to.
Okay.
There we go, wiggle, and it comes off. Now I replace the plastic covering back on top. I'm going to put this right on the cardstock. So you can do this, you can place it right on your card.
Right, for the first layer.
For the first layer, right. So just place it right where you want to work with it. Make sure that it's stuck down all around. And then you have the metal leaf. They come in these sheets, and they're protected first with a plastic coating and then wax paper. And you peel them back.
And there are 25 sheets in the silver or the gold or the copper.
Right.
When you get into the modeled ones, there are fewer. Yeah, there's a fan going on in here.
There's a fan going, you can see that. So it's just going to sort of go everywhere as I try to set it down.
And don't worry about it tearing, because that's fine.
Right.
That's just fine.
Okay, I've got it. I'm going to tap it down. It's okay if it doubles over. It just doesn't matter.
Because it's silver on both sides.
Right. The extra pieces will come off, and I'm just going to tap that down.
Tap, 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 tap.
Tap that down, and then I'm going to remove the first part. I'm going to remove with my fingers just to get the extra off. Then I'll move that out of the way. I'm trying to capture all that so it doesn't fly all over everything we're doing.
And you could just put it into like a Tupperware container or something like that.
Get that out of the way, and then we just use a cosmetic wedge to remove it from these double stick dazzles, and you just simply go around.
Now you're just lightly going over that. Are you applying much pressure?
I set it down, I grab onto it, I push a tiny little bit, and then I just start moving. So I'm not giving it full force. It's not necessary. I already tapped it down with my finger anyway, and really that's, whoops, I got the edge up there. That's kind of done.
That's just as exhausting as it is for that beautiful look.
Now on the card that you're seeing, if we pull that in, Susan then went in with the innies from the dazzle, placed them in after she did the silver leaf, and then put the silk microfine glitter on.
She did.
And that's how she got the different layers like
now,
that.
because she has these overlapping, after the first one, she did directly onto the paper, but the other two, she needed to put them somewhere else to do the silver leaf, and she chose just the packaging of the dazzle, right? She just placed it on the package, that plastic clear packaging, and then did her silver leaf, and then removed them and placed them here, and did her innies.
And it's really a simple process. It's a little bit messy. You're going to get a little bit of the metal flake, the metal leaf around, but it comes off.
It's such a great look. These are the borders that are in the dazzle pack.
She's used those as stringers to hang.
Perfectly.
This is the paper, but did we mention?
We have it. This is a Winter's Garden. You'll be seeing it later.
Okay. See you later.
Now, we're going to go into, did you like that? I don't think anyone noticed, do you?
Not at all.
This is the doll Dazzles, and but she's all decked out for Christmas, and you can see.
Just beautiful.
Now,
so, yeah, the doll Dazzles, she doesn't normally have that little hat. That is a little, there's going to be a paper pattern on the gallery that Teresa supplied to add that little hat to make her Santa's
Right.
helper.
And behind her, there is the snowflake from the Christmas design tool.
Toolkit.
Right.
So isn't that wonderful?
Which
And
is
so
nice
it
and
just
big.
goes right off the card. It does not have to completely cover your
Right.
card. You can use parts of it.
In fact, this is a cutaway card, so you can see that the paper she selected for the inside, it actually has this wonderful border treatment.
Right.
So she did cut away the front, but it gives a nice place for her doll to
And
stand.
she backed it with paper individually in different parts, so you can do one piece of one color and then back another part with another color, so she was able to
And
piece it.
I'm
in
glad
that
you're
way.
getting in close. Thank you, John. You can see the necklace. That's an optional piece that's on the Dazzles.
Okay.
So, and then inside there are our Christmas greetings and another snowflake. Just
Right. Now
really
this
filling
is
that
an
space.
excellent example of why the 3-pack of Christmas greetings is useful. Here you've got that dark piece there so that the lighter Dazzles show up really well, and then on the front you have a dark piece that shows up really well
Yes.
on the front. So
Excellent.
That's, yeah. It's a great use
Beautifully
of
done.
those.
And we've got the
Gold
jewel
Dazzles.
dazzles are
Yay.
just fluttering along the edges.
Hey, I think she used gold stars on there too.
Oh, she might have.
Very
Okay. Now we have another of our dolls. In fact, this is the one I think that's on the package.
So just an idea of a different way you can
Yeah.
use those paper dolls. This paper piece differently. It's got the little optional sunglass
That's
dazzles
right.
on there.
The flower in her hair.
Right.
I believe stickles were used. This is
Sure,
also the border
to fill
that's
that
in
in.
it. But
So it can be
play.
Christmas or it can be summer. They're really
Yeah,
useful. This would be
and-
great for a girl, feminine card for a little girl. This would be wonderful.
I think Best Friends is part of the greetings. Now,
Right.
here is another card just to show you. This is I believe, a 4 or 4.5 inch square
Right.
card. And wow, isn't that gorgeous?
So taking that large cameo piece, placing it right onto cardstock, and then coloring it in with Perfect Pearls. I'm just going to show you really
Oh, okay.
briefly how that's done. Now, this is hard to see. That's exactly what I did though. I placed that cameo dazzle right onto black cardstock. And then these are the Metallics Perfect Pearls set. They come with a paintbrush. Got a little water in my collapsible cup here. And you just paint right onto it. And the way you paint with Perfect Pearls, because Perfect Pearls are powdered.
Right, they're
But it is
micro-powder.
Right, it's a powdered pigment. I put a little bit into the lid. I sort of use that as my palette. I get a little bit of water on my brush and I sort of turn it into a kind of a pasty paint. I'm going to move that over here, see if I can get a little more water. Yeah, you don't want it too thin, and if you need to, you can add a little bit more to make sure that it's just thick enough that you can start painting with that. And I don't know where I went with this color.
Her
but
hair.
Okay.
I think her hair.
And it sort of comes right off of the dazzle too. Once you start painting, it sort of avoids the dazzle a little bit because of the water. And there you go. You can see.
Oh, even on the black, so it covers the black cardstock really
Right.
nicely.
Right. And can you see how it's, I mean,
Yeah.
it sort of avoids the dazzle, which I think is kind of neat because it's plastic.
Sure.
So you can put a couple of layers on it if you want it a little thicker, but it's so easy to do. It's fun to paint that in that way.
So there you go. There's the finished look. So gold hair, looks like copper in the
Right.
frame as well as the flower and
all
the heart.
of those come in the set. You've got the silver, you've got like a white, a bronze, a copper, so everything you need.
Yeah, beautifully done. And there's the gold ripple to play with that. There's
To
the border
highlight,
again.
right.
And Fabulous Friends is part of the Dazzle set. On the inside, more of the Dazzle elements and some computer journaling right there. Just beautiful look. Very sweet. Very
So
fun. I'm
that's
really
fun.
happy to have those.
It's not Christmas, but you know, if you
Yeah.
wanted to, you could put a Christmas greeting on there, use some different colored
Yes, you
backgrounds.
could. Yeah,
Sure.
use it as a template for. And speaking of templates, oh, would you like that?
Yes.
Okay, where is it? You've got it over there.
I do?
Uh-huh.
No, you took it.
Okay, I took it. Help me.
No, it's right there on your right. Oh, this template.
Yeah, the bendy card. Gail,
I'm so sorry.
we're moving on to the bendy card.
Well, there are two templates used in this card.
Okay.
And that's why I got confused. I'm sorry. This is the bendy card template. Let's look at the card and then
Yes.
I'll show you the details.
Now
of
you
that.
can see that I've already tucked in each of the two pieces, so let me untuck them. And
One.
1, 2. So you would mail it flat.
Right.
And
But
where I confused you was because the design tool,
Right.
which someone at this table was insisting that I show, was used for the poinsettias.
The poinsettias, the leaves,
Oh,
even that label
yes.
shape that the little wolf dog is on.
There you go.
So very cute.
All kinds of pieces.
I love that design toolkit. Yeah, that's what I was thinking that you meant, but you were
Sorry.
referring to the
I
bendy
was.
card template,
I was.
which looks like this. So this is great. Now, when you get a bendy card from a die-cut card kit that's already ready to go, it's this one long piece
Right.
that has a center and it has these 2 flaps. Well, this creates it in individual pieces.
It has to do that because this is actually longer
is.
than
Right.
12 inches.
Right.
So that's why the template is doing it in pieces.
Right, so this is what it looks like straight out of a die-cut card package, except
Right.
you only get them in white. Now this has been done on green cardstock. And what happens is you take that template, you place it over your cardstock, and pull that out of the way. You go ahead and trace the pieces, which
This is the card base, is that
There we go.
rectangle.
Got it.
Got it?
So this is the card base. You're going to trace and cut out one of those, a left panel and a right panel. Real simply here, I'm going to show you. There are slots there for your pencil to follow. So like any other template, you're going to trace and go around. I'm showing you this one because I want to show you something special
Okay.
about it in just a moment. So I am going to do the entire, I'm going to trace it in entirety. You have to remember when you trace them that it says slit right there.
Yes.
You also have to trace the line because that's where you're going to cut a slit for the tabs to fit into. There's also a fold line down here, so trace where that's going to be scored. Okay, that is what the right panel looks like. There is an option on this template, which we've got to back out just a little bit so we can see that hole. There we go. There's an option for a curved edge. So you can have this edge, or you can use this optional curved edge.
And actually, our next card is going to show a curved edge.
So you could have used that
Yeah.
for the curved edge. So that's what you do. You trace all of those pieces, which I did. I traced them, I cut them out, I made sure I cut through the little slit. And so this piece is going to be on the right. Of course, you can turn these around if you like. That's the way I'm going to do it right now. If I put this piece on the right, that slit has to be on the left. And then I have this piece over here. I've got ultra tape.
And that's 1/2 inch ultra tape, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Makes it really simple. Ultra tape on both of these. Okay.
And if it's hard, if it's stubborn to lift off, do exactly what Gail just did and press down harder with your fingernail,
Like
and then
that.
it will lift up.
It's burnishing the other side of the tape in
Yeah.
so that it won't come up. Okay, so I've got that, and then I'm going to line this up with the edge just like so, here and there.
Now, would you have already scored those fold lines?
Yes, I did score. I scored on that fold line already. I should have said that. And you
That's
notice
why I'm
that
here to
it's
help.
good. Thank you. That's going on the back. So line that up
Right.
with the bottom edge.
Back of the base.
Okay, so now we've got that big long piece, which could have been in any color cardstock I wanted, and then you fold this side over, tuck tab in here, fold this over. Because I cut those slits, those tabs will fit right in, and that's how you create a bendy card.
And the reason why you want to cut those slits ahead of time, even if you're covering this with paper,
Right.
you could turn it over and you would see the slit and you could recut it.
Sure.
So that would work. So
Okay.
as you said, this just slips right in, and this one slips right in the slit
And
on
it's
this
just
side.
super cute.
Always.
And you get to display several different steps of items on there. So
Very, very cute.
Great
And
fun.
they stand up on the person's counter or desk or wherever they are.
This one is using the Christmas cheer embellies too. So those are
Yes.
those large brads that you see
That-
right in the center of
They
those
look like
ones.
that.
Those are fun, and I
Yeah.
love the little die cuts that come with them too.
And there's our Merry Woofness,
Woofness.
just as you were talking
Very
about.
cute. He was stamped in brown and then colored in with Spectrum Noir pens. I like stamping them, that little dog in brown. I've done that myself, and it just seems to be the best color for him.
I like the little scribble foundation
Yeah,
there, so he's
right.
got something
So
to
that's
stand
simple,
on.
Yeah.
Very sweet. Now I do have, as I said, Teresa did another card.
Wow.
This is with the Serenity Dazzles,
Okay.
and
Those, the large
here's-
scrapbooking Dazzles,
yeah,
right?
and here is that curve. So you can do the curve on both of these panels,
Right.
using the template. So you've got that option. But isn't this just count
gorgeous.
your blessings?
It's stunning. those gold dazzles are beautiful. And then you can use that brown cardstock, which is amazing, instead of having white cardstock.
Right, and you can do your message here or in here, right. But it just is quite lovely.
So bendy card template, that's a big cool one. I'm sure everybody's going to want
gorgeous.
Now.
Now, too cute to spook? Well, let's see this little guy.
Okay.
And here it is. Now, this is also using the tags template, the tags and trims.
10 tags and trims, so it makes it really simple to put a focal on the front of your card. So you've got a label here, a tag here, and these dazzles have been backed and then a little bit inked around the edges for a little bit of shading.
Just absolutely darling.
I love that the kitty cat was backed on white cardstock.
You see those great big eyes? Yes.
Great.
With the little pen work to have our spiders going down.
To be hanging down there.
So very cute. Now, Teresa did another card, and I love what she did here. So
this is great fun. So that's using the circles and scallops cutting dies, and I would be quite surprised if everybody doesn't have those, because they're so
very useful. They are.
We use them all the time. And
I love the idea of combining the two.
Right.
So
getting that great window there, which is great for this stamps. These stamps, the little bat wing stamps.
And because she used the heat-resistant acetate, you can see that it works perfectly.
Right, and she did it right all across the acetate and the card all in one stamp, and that is the Bats with Swirls stamp set, and so it's just a beautiful look. And then you get the great.
And Teresa cut her circle out of the paper and out of the card base,
and then slid the acetate in between the two.
Right. So she used repositionable adhesive to position her paper on top. Did her die cutting, then she could easily lift the paper, insert the acetate, glue the paper back down permanently, and do her stamping.
Right. The repositional adhesive that she's talking about is this one. They are Easy Dots repositional adhesive.
And we're carrying them because Teresa suggested it, and this is the reason why.
Okay.
And on the inside, just beautifully done. And this is the Serenity paper too, I think.
Oh, yes, it is. That's the new Serenity papers, which
that you haven't seen yet.
You haven't seen yet. It'll happen.
If you just want to do bats like crazy, how about this? And I love how simple this is.
Just stamp and stamp again. And that's really, I think that's just 2 stampings, 1, 2 of that large stamp, and then lots of little bats in the boot to you.
And you do have that individual bat too. So
3 stamps.
You can have
a small stamp set.
Jute twine in the back.
That's just a great look. I love that torn edge. It's a little bit spooky.
Okay, now scrapbookers, pay attention. Okay, not only is this scrapbooking page, but this is of my Penelope. So
we had to end on that.
Yes,
it's so cute.
And this is, I think, a little while ago.
But
anyway,
she's a little bit younger. But look at her; she's in that little tube.
And fun to have the pink. So we're going to back up just a second, and then we'll get into that charmer.
I think it's great to change up colors for Christmas.
Yes,
pink is a great one. Blue is another one, and it's just beautiful. You have poinsettias in 3 different ways on this page.
Yes.
We are seeing the poinsettia cutting die.
Right, and this is a nice size. It is 3 5/8 inches across.
Right,
so
there are 3 there, this beautiful ornate cutting die, and then you have, of the poinsettia, then you have a leaf and a shadow for behind the leaf.
Right. And then, so you can see those just peeking out all over.
Right.
And there's
you
also...
have dazzles. You have poinsettia dazzles. And you can see that they've been... Here are the dazzles. There we go. We showed those briefly in the beginning. They've been backed on that paper, and there are smaller dazzles. They've got swirls, and here is the large cutting die that was also backed on a pattern paper. But then there's one more different kind of poinsettia, and those are the stamps.
Right.
So we showed that briefly. Here is the stamp. It says Merry Christmas. It says one large stamp plus the small Merry Christmas. I love how she did this. First she stamped on the background. Then she stamped again one of the one on this paper, and then one on this paper, and one on this one, and then she paper toll style put them
so
together.
she cut those apart.
Right, she cut them all apart and stacked them. Just gorgeous.
Let's look at Penelope.
Oh,
there she is playing in the snow. Hi, sweetie. And I do think this is a fun technique of bending that paper back and letting one kind of peek in. So
right, but I also love that she put some extra papers back there, so you get a little peek of something else.
And there's Zach and Ben.
Oh,
and,
what is it? Is this the Sweet Life paper pack?
I think it is.
Oh my goodness.
I think it is.
On a Christmas paper
On
pack.
a Christmas, yes, with pink poinsettias and our Penelope who loves pink. So that's how we're going to end. So as you can see, we have new Dazzles and new techniques, which is what we love for Week of Webisodes.
There were lots of them today. Thank you, Teresa, for that.
Yes,
and
we'll see you tomorrow for day 4. It's going to be neato.
Okay.